This is 10 News.
Not in a million years, not in this neighborhood.
Residents in Torrey Highlands in utter shock after two people were found dead inside a quiet home in their neighborhood. Good evening, I'm Matt Boone in for Vanessa Van Hefty. 10 News reporter Rena Nakano spoke to neighbors who say these types of incidents are unheard of around here. Rena.
Good evening. Not only are police sightings very uncommon here, but now detectives are working on a double homicide. Now you could see that CSIs have already left the area. All that's left now is a bolted front door and a lot of unanswered questions. It's a quiet bedroom community, family friendly, but most of all, safe.
I mean, my 14-year-old, she plays out in the street with her friends all the time.
But now residents like Salim Hassanin are wondering if that is an accurate description of their neighborhood after San Diego police say two people were found dead inside this home on Villa Rivera.
Everybody seems to mind their own business. I haven't heard of any problems whatsoever.
Saturday at around 10 p.m., officers came to the home for a welfare check after getting a call from concerned family members. They say the residents were supposed to arrive in San Francisco earlier that day, but never made it. When they arrived at the house, officers found the bodies of an Asian man and woman in their 50s with fatal injuries to the upper body. Nick Palermino shares a back wall with the victim's home. He doesn't recall any commotion happening Saturday night. He says residents here in this neighborhood usually keep to themselves.
We have a dog as well in the house that has a doggy door, and she wasn't barking last night at all.
Homicide detectives say the victim's home does not seem to be disturbed.
I hope that this isn't going to be a Dateline story, or a 2020 story. I'd really hate to see that in my neighborhood.
A neighborhood once known for its peaceful vibe, now filled with mystery.
I guess be more aware of the surroundings, pay attention if the dog barks.
I hope we go back to our peaceful environment, and I just feel real sad and bad for the people.
San Diego police could not expand on the details of this case, including exactly how the couple died and when. They say the investigation is ongoing. Reporting in Torrey Highlands, I'm Rena Nakano, 10 News.
Now to chaos off the coast of Coronado after two boats crashed this afternoon, forcing passengers to bail. 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle live at Pepper Park in National City. Cassie, they're still looking into what caused this crash, right?
Matt, exactly right. They're also investigating whether alcohol or drugs were a factor. We're here in Pepper Park in National City. This is the boat launch ramp right here where the power boat came into the water and then came out through the bay. Out there is where that crash happened. Harbor police say that crash happened around 1:30 this afternoon, saying about 8 people were involved. A power boat hit a sailboat. Now, they said thankfully no one went to the hospital, no one was hurt, and part of the reason this crash wasn't worse was because everyone was wearing life jackets. The powerboat did fill up with water though after the crash, forcing the passengers to bail into the bay. A Good Samaritan came by and picked them up and took them here to Pepper Park.
That's just what you do. You're a boater. That's what you're supposed to do. You help out on the water. I mean, people have helped us, we've helped other people. That's just kind of what you're supposed to do.
Both boats are operational. Now, that powerboat did get towed back over here, and the sailboat is over off of Coronado. Reporting live here in National City, Cassie Carlisle, 10 News.
Thank you, Cassie. A motorcyclist fell 75 feet down a hill after a crash today in East County. It happened around 9 this morning on Little Tecate Road near Dulzura. CHP says the motorcyclist collided with a car and was knocked down an embankment. It's unclear, though, what led up to that crash, and no word yet on the extent of the injuries. And a man's body was found in a dry lake bed burned in Joshua Tree. Authorities say the man's body was discovered Friday. Homicide detectives took over the case this morning and are now investigating. We'll keep you updated as we learn more details. And 2 men are under arrest after allegedly making threats of mass shootings. Authorities say a Jewish community center was a target. As ABC's Zachary Keish reports, the public helped tip off police after a series of disturbing text messages and posts.
Police in Ohio say 20-year-old James Reardon Jr. is now in custody after posting a threatening video on Instagram. Reardon seen here shooting an assault rifle. His comment reads, "Police identify shooter of a Youngstown Jewish family center as a local white nationalist."
That kicked off an intense investigation, a very rapidly evolving investigation.
Police say Reardon's social media was filled with racial slurs and comments against minorities. Based on those perceived threats, a warrant was issued.
With the hate crimes and everything else going on, we wanted to make sure that we did our part to make sure that this person was taken off the streets very quickly.
Authorities raiding Reardon's home on Friday say they seized a cache of weapons, ammunition, a gas mask, and bulletproof armor. Following the deadly mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton 2 weeks ago, the FBI has been asking for the public's help.
One of the problems with mass shootings is copycats. And what motivates mass shooters is power and control.
A Daytona Beach man, 25-year-old Tristan Wicks, also arrested on Friday.
He wants to die and have fun while he's dying, and he wants to shoot people in the way that the sniper shot people in Las Vegas.
Police were tipped off by Wicks's ex-girlfriend after she said he sent her a series of disturbing text messages. In one text, "A school is a weak target. I'd be more likely to open fire on a large crowd of people from over 3 miles away." Wicks has been charged with making written threats and is being held without bond. Zachary Quiche, ABC News, New York.
And we're learning more information on the TV news anchor who was killed in a plane crash while working on a story. The NTSB says the pilot of the stunt plane she was on radioed that he was having problems with the aircraft just after takeoff. The plane went down on Friday in New Orleans, killing award-winning anchor Nancy Parker and that pilot Franklin Augustus. Parker spent more than 20 years at WVUE at Fox 8. She's survived by her husband and 3 children. New at 6, Border Patrol agents say they seized nearly 4 tons of marijuana hidden in a shipment of jalapeno peppers. Officers in Otay Mesa say a Mexican citizen came through the port of entry driving a semi-truck full of what was listed as jalapeno peppers. Canines alerted the agents, who then found 314 wrapped packages of marijuana. Just last week, we reported that California's legal marijuana market is the largest in the world at over $3 billion. The only thing that surpasses it is California's illegal marijuana market. That brings in over $8 billion a year. Happening tomorrow, commuters can use the new Carlsbad Connector. It's a coastal shuttle that brings passengers from the Carlsbad Poinsettia station to central places around Carlsbad. The service works similar to a ride-share services app. You can book trips on the 12-passenger vans up to 3 days in advance. Commuters will get dropped off within a 5-minute walk of their workplace, and that first shuttle will come tomorrow morning around 8:30. Thousands of runners made their way through the streets of San Diego for America's Finest City Half Marathon and 5K. 10 News reporter Nate Holmes was there this morning. She tells us crossing the finish line meant a lot more to some runners than just completing the race.
Crews were up early Sunday morning getting ready for the mass crowd of runners. About 6,000 people signed up for the America's Finest City Half Marathon and 5K.
Pretty pumped because I'm so excited because it's my first race.
Runner Steven says he decided to run the 5K as a way to live a healthier lifestyle.
I kind of weighed probably 35 pounds than what I am today, and I just looked at a photo of myself and I was like, no, I can't. I have to change myself.
Go! While some started their lone journey to the finish line, Team Garrett had a group of more than 80 people.
They're friends of mine, and especially our son. And they come to support him. He had neurofibromatosis.
Team Garrett was created 7 years ago to raise money for the Children's Tumor Foundation.
Over the past 7 years, they've raised $150,000.
But this year's event means much more to the Balmain family.
Unfortunately, the disorder took his life 10 days ago. It's really hard to say goodbye to my son, and just having the support of all the family and friends, it's amazing.
Dozens of supporters like Suzanne stood on the sidelines cheering on the 5K and half marathon runners as they made their way in. The 13.1-mile half marathon race started at Cabrillo National Monument.
Didn't help that there was a lot of hills at the end. It was a bit brutal, but it was not too hot, so I was good. I liked it.
Nate Holmes, 10 News.
And look at this, there was our very own Jared Aarons completing America's Finest City Half Marathon this morning. We talked to him right after he crossed the finish line.
My legs have never been this tired in my life. Seriously, I thought I was going to fall down that last mile. But it feels amazing because I challenged myself, I wanted to do it, and I finished.
Jared finished the race in about 2 hours and 2 minutes. That's awesome. He also became a Triple Crown champion today. He completed this year's half marathons in Carlsbad, La Jolla, and finished off strong today at the America's Finest City race. So congratulations to Jared. Coming up on 10 News, the economy becoming a hot topic on the campaign trail. Democrats taking aim at the president, saying his actions are hurting the stock market, while the president says he's not concerned about a recession. And he jumped 75 years ago. Today, the D-Day invasion of Europe, how this 98-year-old plans to jump again.
Excessive heat is on the way. I'm tracking which neighborhoods will see the hottest temperatures coming up in your 7-day forecast.